Hello everyone, in this video we're going to draw a lion. Start by drawing a big circle as a guide for the head. An easy way to draw a circle is to first make a couple of small marks to indicate the circle's length, and then on the sides make a couple more small marks to indicate the circle's width. Then just connect the small marks using curved lines to finish the shape of the circle. You don't have to draw a perfect circle, but if you're having trouble drawing one, just trace the outer edge of a cup, a bowl, or anything else with a circular edge. Draw a sloping line across the circle for a construction guide. The line should split the circle in half. Extend the left side of the line so that it's outside of the circle. On the left side, draw a shorter sloping line as a guide for the front part of the muzzle. Connect the short line to the circle using a couple of sloping lines to finish the guide for the muzzle. The shape of the muzzle should be similar to a rectangle. Inside the head, near the top part of the muzzle, draw a small circle as a guide for the eye. Near the top part of the muzzle, draw two short lines to create a triangle as a guide for the nose. On the top right side of the head, draw an arc as a guide for the ear. Above the head, make a small mark for the first part of the mane. Connect the small mark to the head using a curved line to create the front part of the mane. Extend the mark to the right to make the guide for the mane longer. Draw a long sloping line for the bottom edge of the mane. Draw a shorter line below the muzzle to finish the guide for the mane. And that's it for the guidelines. Now let's start on the final drawing. Use the small circle inside the head as a guide to draw the eye. Draw the structure of the eye using two short lines along the path of the circle. The lines should be similar to a greater than sign. Darken the left side of the circle for the eyeball. Make the lines thick and dark for the eyelashes. On the bottom left side, draw a short angled line for the inner corner of the eye. Inside the eye, draw a tiny dot for the pupil. Add a couple of short lines around the eye for fur. Use the triangle inside the muzzle as a guide to draw the nose. Draw the shape of the nose along the path of the guide. Make the front of the nose smaller and more curved than the guide. Use a wavy line to darken the top part of the nose. On the right side of the nose, draw a short curved shape for the nostril. Make the bottom of the nose thin and pointy. Below the nose, draw a line that curves to the right for the mouth. Extend the line to the right so that it's inside the head circle. Sketch lightly at first and only darken the line when you get the shape right. On the left side under the nose, draw a short line for the front part of the muzzle. Draw a curved line below the mouth for the chin. Follow the basic path of the guides as you draw the chin. Use a broken line as you draw the shape of the chin to create a furry texture. Extend the line to the right so that it's inside the head. Darken the arc on top of the head to create the ear. Add a curved line within the shape for the inner edge of the ear. Draw a series of short strokes along the bottom for the edge of the mane. Add more short strokes within the shape for the fur that's inside the ear. Darken the line on top of the nose to create the top part of the muzzle. The front of the muzzle should be curved. Use the initial circle as a guide to draw the top of the head. Follow the basic path of the circle as you draw the head, but make the shape flatter. Draw a series of wavy lines across the head for the inner edge of the mane. Draw this line close to the ear. The bottom of the line should end near the lower jaw. Use short strokes as you draw to create a furry texture. Use the curved shape around the head as a guide to draw the rest of the mane. Draw a series of short strokes and angled lines along the path of the guide to create the mane. Make the strokes and lines different sizes. Make the bottom of the mane pointy. Extend the strokes up toward the chin. Add more strokes at the bottom to connect to the inner edge of the mane. Add a few strokes within the shape of the mane to emphasize the flow of the hair. Draw more strokes below the ear to create a bigger shape. Now erase the initial guidelines. The next few steps are sped up so that the video isn't too long. You don't have to erase all of the guidelines. It's okay if you leave some behind. Redraw any of the final lines that you may have accidentally erased. Now shade your drawing. Use a medium value across the main part of the head. Shade lightly at first and gradually build up to darker values. To create light values, push down very lightly on your pencil, then push down harder to create darker values. Leave a small section around the eye blank for lighter fur. Leave the front part of the muzzle and chin blank for lighter colored fur too. Shade the mane using a light value as well. Use a dark value to shade the ear. On the right side of the nose, draw rows of dots for the base of the whiskers. Use a light value to shade the nose. Shade the inner corner of the eye using a dark value. Slowly and gradually add a darker value across the head. As you shade the head, use strokes that go in the direction of the fur. The fur on the head mainly radiates outward from the nose. Use a light value to create a shadow along the bottom edge of the chin. As you shade, separate each stroke a bit so that the white of the paper comes through and creates a furrier texture. As you shade the mane, use strokes that go in the direction of the hair. The hair curves from the front of the head to the back. Use darker areas throughout the mane to create bigger chunks of hair. Darken the final lines across the head to emphasize the shapes. Shading can be time-consuming, so be patient and take breaks. Keep shading until you're happy with the result, and that's it for the lion. Don't forget to pause the video to draw at your own pace. Also, please visit howtodrawanimals.com for more tutorials. That's how, and then the number 2, then drawanimals.com. If you'd like to support my channel, please consider buying my books on Amazon. I'll leave a link in the description below. And if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, a comment, and subscribe for more videos in the future. Thank you for watching, and until next time, keep drawing.